Once again, going to have an early tip to Game 2. Game 1 started 4 minutes early. This one about 2.5 minutes early. Teams on the floor. Homestead in the blue uniforms with gold letters and numbers. Crown Point, white uniforms, red letters and numbers. Crown Point wins the tip. Here's Begley taking it all the way down the right side of the lane. Put it up on the run. It's too strong off the window, and the rebound goes to Homestead. Jake Kuhlman on the dribble between the circles, takes it left elbow all the way down the lane and put it up on the run with the left hand. No good. Rebound goes to Crown Point. Shaw has it into the front court, left side. High between the circles. Peters to Rhodes. Now up top. Back to Peters. Shaw sends it on the right wing. All the way around the arc. They got 4 outside the three-point line, and Shaw is going to drive, pull up in the lane, and float it in over the defense of Aiden Good. Dikembe Shaw, who averages 16.5 points per game, gets Crown Point on the board first. 55 seconds into action. It's a 2-0 Bulldogs lead. Front court, Kuhlman, high between the circles to Weaver. He'll give it off to Mac Welker. Now it's Rogers. Rogers takes it left to right, throws it on the right wing to Wyatt Weaver. 6'4" senior throws up top to Rogers. Rogers dribbles to the right, now looks back left, and at the center circle, it's Jake Kuhlman. Back on the wing to Weaver, up top to Kuhlman. Man-to-man defense shown by the Crown Point Bulldogs. Good. Up top to Kuhlman. Comes off a screen to the right elbow. Now he'll burst down the lane to the basket and lay it in with the left hand. Tied up 2-2 with 6:17 to play in the opening quarter. Crown Point basket near side. There's Peters with a 3 from the left wing. No good. Homestead look to run. The lead pass goes to Welker. Welker with an extra step that wasn't called, lays it in, and Homestead with 4 quick points takes a 4-2 advantage. Under 6 minutes left. First quarter here at Elkhart North. On the wing, Darrell, crossover top of the key, gets doubled. Now he has to step outside the arc, and he drops it off to the left wing to Shaw. Up top, Peters. He'll give to Begley. Top of the key. Here's Shaw. Looks to drive on Good. Cut off of the elbow. Ball knocked away. It's collected, but in the scrum, there's a foul, and they're going to call it on Homestead. And it looks like Aiden Good has picked up his first foul, first one of the contest. Rob Couch, Travis Horn, and Mike Harlow, the 3 officials that have been honored with the opportunity to call this game. Crown Point will inbound, down by 2. From the top, Rhodes outside to Shaw. Shaw now being guarded by Raudebush in the corner to Begley. Begley will take the 3 and come up short. Rebound goes to Homestead. Wyatt Weaver just basically baited Quinn Begley into taking that three-pointer. A 39% three-point shooter, but he hit front iron. Now a drive by Welker. Missed it on the run. Rebound tip that goes to Homestead. Jay Kuhlman takes it all the way up center circle. Brings it up to the arc and steps back. Kuhlman looks to the bench to get some instructions. Homestead sets the offense. Kuhlman picks up the dribble and just threw it away on the left wing. Picked up the dribble right out at the center circle. Tough spot for Kuhlman, and when he tried to unload it to the left wing, the ball sails wide, and on the turnover, Crown Point gets it down 4-2 with just under 5 minutes left in quarter number 1. Kingston Rhodes, Shaw baseline. He gets doubled at the block outside to Begley. And around the perimeter it goes. Here is Darrell, and Darrell goes to spin, and sneaking in, Kuhlman with the steal to a cutting Welker, and a blocking foul. The layup rolls off the right side of the iron, but it's 2 free throws coming for Homestead sophomore Mac Welker. Homestead leads at 4-2 with 4:34 left in the opening quarter in historic Elkhart Northside Gymnasium. This building will hold close to 7,000 people. Nowhere near that for the semi-state semifinal. The foul is determined to be on Quinn Begley, the 6'5 senior for Crown Point, who picks up his first. And at the line, Mac Welker, a 69% free throw shooter on the season. He'll shoot 2. And again, another question, and one of the officials has to go over and talk to the official scorer to sort things out. They've changed the foul. It is not Begley. It is Mason Darrell, the 6'2 junior, who picks up his first. Welker with the ball at the free throw line, and the first one is short. Got to think maybe some semi-state nerves for a sophomore. Welker's second is nothing but net. So he splits the pair, and Homestead's up by 3. It's a 5-2 Spartans lead. Front court for Crown Point. Rhodes on the dribble. Rotated through the top to Peters. Peters drives, has his shot blocked in front of the rim, and here comes Homestead with a 3-point lead. Welker outside the top of the key, hands the ball to Kuhlman between the circles. He'll step out to the center circle, start the offense very high in the half court, and high post to Weaver, and away from the ball. We've got a whistle, and what do we have? Clock issue, I believe. The officials are going to go over and talk to the scores table. 4:27 is what's showing on the clock. It's a 5-2 Homestead lead. Spartans have the ball, but we've got a break in the action. Once again, no shot clock in high school basketball in Indiana. So it is not the shot clock that they have to be concerned about here. It is strictly the game clock, and they knocked it down to 4 minutes and 34 seconds. Didn't take a whole lot off the clock. So Homestead inbounds. Corner, Welker, 3 on the way. No. Long rebound to Jake Kuhlman. Homestead has it and will reset. Kuhlman, center circle. Sends it right side. Raudebusch right back to Kuhlman. Try the left side to Rogers. Back up top. Kuhlman rotates it. Raudebusch has it right wing. Now throws to the center stripe, where Kuhlman throws the left to Rogers. And Crown Point appears to have changed into a zone defense. They've been playing man-to-man, but now they're in a zone. And Homestead trying to figure out how to attack it. Here's Kuhlman outside Rogers. Near the left corner to Weaver. He'll dribble up the sideline and throw midcourt to Jake Kuhlman. Homestead showing a lot of patience. Of course, like I said, this is a Homestead team that they've been winning games 40-39. That's the type of play that Homestead has found to be successful. Welker gets it left elbow, and his 15-footer is good. Mac Welker gives Homestead a 7-2 lead, and it's 7 straight points scored by the Spartans after Crown Point struck first. 3:24, clock runs. Here's Shaw in the paint. Drops it baseline. It's stolen, and Jake Kuhlman is ruled to have stepped out of bounds under the basket. That was in front of us. It didn't look like Kuhlman had hit the baseline, but that's what they call, and so Crown Point will get the ball right back with 3:19 on the clock. Homestead 7, Crown Point 2. Crown Point has entered Colby Henderlong off their bench. Here's Shaw driving. Muscles his way to the basket, puts it up, and it comes up off the back iron, no good. And the rebound to Homestead. Spartans defense, probably something like Crown Point has not seen, because this Sparty defense has been terrific over the last couple of months of the season. Wyatt Weaver, high right. Centers the floor, sends it on the wing to Rogers. His 3, too strong. It goes up off the rim, catches the stanchion and the brace that holds the basket in place, and that will give it to Crown Point. Spartans leading at 7-2, 2:40. Clock ticks, first quarter. Darrell up top to Begley. Begley had to chase the ball to the center circle. There's a pass to the corner to Rhodes. Rhodes against Kuhlman, up to Begley. Top of the key, triple. No. Long rebound, and it's tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Crown Point's Dikembe Shaw, and Homestead gets the ball. And a timeout being called with 2:24 remaining in the first quarter. Spartans off to a good start. They lead at 7-2 over Crown Point. This is semi-state basketball being presented by Parkview Sports Medicine on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. If you're looking for Purdue basketball, you will find that on 92.3 FM Wowo Radio. Once again, the Boilermakers NCAA tournament coverage with Rob Blackman and company from the Purdue Radio Network. Available right now at 92.3 FM Wowo. Homestead the ball with a 7-2 lead. Kuhlman has it left corner. Posting, popping out from the block as Welker back to the basket, turns into the paint, then throws up top to Raudenbush. He'll take a three, and it's short. Rebound goes to Crown Point. Darrell in the front court. Feeds, posting 12 feet out. Back to the basket is Begley. In the paint, he kicks it up top to Rhodes. Rhodes dribbles all the way to the left corner. Now up top to Begley. Minute 45. Here's Shaw. An offensive foul is called. Raudenbush got in front of him. There wasn't a lot of contact, but enough to get the whistle, and Dikembe Shaw picks up his first foul. And Homestead will get the ball following the offensive foul. Goes as a turnover for Crown Point. The Spartans still pitching a shutout since the first basket of the game. 7-2. Homestead leads. Down to about a minute and a half left opening quarter. Here's Kuhlman on the drive. Scoops it up, and he wedged it between the rim and the backboard. The arrow does point to Homestead, so they will inbound it baseline. Minute 31 left, quarter number 1. 7-2, Spartans lead. Ball will be thrown in by sophomore Jake Kuhlman, and the pass deflected and stolen. Here comes Crown Point. Darrell, outside Rhodes, three from the left wing, nothing but net. Caden Rhodes hitting his first three of the season. Nope, that was Bryce Peters. Peters drains it for three, and we've got a 7-5 game. It was actually right before. It was Kingston Rhodes who hit the three. Shot missed by Homestead. Rebound followed by Raudenbush. No good. 7-5 our score. We go under a minute left. Darrell in the corner. Rhodes again. And he can't go back-to-back. But the long rebound taken by Henderlong. He steps outside the left wing arc and misses a three-pointer. This rebound goes to Jake Kuhlman of Homestead. Spartans lead at 7-5. We're down to 42 seconds with the clock running. And the ball is picked right out of the hands of Rogers. Unfortunately, it went out of bounds on a slow roll down the sideline. Crown Point chased it but couldn't get there in time, and so Homestead keeps the possession. 37.7 seconds remain in our first quarter. Homestead 7, Crown Point 5. Spartans the ball. They'll inbound near the foul line extended, and they'll throw it all the way into the backcourt to Kuhlman. Coach Johnson barks out some instructions. They're going to go to a trap now, and Welker goes down low to Raudenbush. Layup is missed, and the rebound tipped off Homestead out of bounds and will belong to Crown Point with 27 seconds. Homestead got the execution against that zone trap. Pass into the middle and a quick drop down to a cutter, but the layup missed, and now Crown Point chance to tie or take the lead. Shaw up top to Mason Darrell. Peters has it from the left wing. We're down to 10 seconds. Peters takes it all the way up to the timeline. They're going to start the offense with 6. Peters on the dribble, top of the key. Step back jumper from 17 is an air ball grabbed underneath by Mac Welker. And the horn sounds, ending our first 8-minute session. And the Homestead Spartans lead it over the Crown Point Bulldogs, 7-5. You're listening to the semi-state semifinal from Elkhart North Gymnasium, presented by Parkview Sports Medicine on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. After one quarter, it is Homestead leading it over Crown Point, 7-5. The winner will take on number 1 ranked Fishers coming up tonight here at Elkhart. Fishers an 82-46 winner over South Bend Riley. Crown Point has the ball to start the second quarter. On the perimeter, Peters gives to Rhodes. Rhodes stops in the middle of the paint, pulls up from 12 feet, missed it straight on, and the rebound to Mac Welker of the Homestead Spartans. 15 seconds into the second quarter, Spartans with the ball in a 2-point lead. In the corner, Owen Smith. He's doubled and then threw it away. Ball comes away with Crown Point, front court. And here is Darrell. The three from the top of the key is too strong. And the rebound goes to Owen Smith, and the Spartans have it. It was 2-0. Then the Spartans reeled off the next 7 points. So Spartans have had the lead the majority of the game. Welker on the wing, Smith, baseline, Raudenbush, mid-range, got it from 14 feet. Michael Raudenbush makes it a 9-5 Spartans lead. Crown Point, Shaw sends it to Darrell on the right wing, up top Begley. Rhodes to Shaw, left wing, and away from the ball. We've got an offensive foul called. Crown Point guilty in the middle of the lane, and a delay before they call the guilty party. I think it is Bryce Peters. Nope. Who did they call it on? They called it on signaled. It's a Homestead foul. So the official pointed the wrong way. It's actually a Homestead foul on Michael Raudenbush. And that's what everybody's confused about right now. Homestead pointing and saying the official pointed that it was Homestead's ball. But it is a foul on Homestead with 6:54 remaining in the second quarter. 9-5, Spartans lead it. And Crown Point will be inbounding under their basket. Kingston Rhodes, the inbounder. Goes down low, Begley. One-on-one from the low block against Weaver. And reaching in from the blind side, poking it away and stealing it is Mac Welker. And the Spartans get the ball. Up by 4, 9-5. Front court for the blue-clad Homestead Spartans. Jay Kuhlman, center circle. High post to Weaver. He's got his back to the basket at the right elbow, and he hands the ball to Rogers. Rogers splits the circle, still on the dribble. Throws right wing to Weaver. Weaver centers the floor, flips to Rogers. Now on the left sideline, it's Welker. Baseline drive, kick out to the far corner. Rogers, the catch, the kick up top to Kuhlman. Kuhlman drives, has his shot blocked by Dikembe Shaw. Here comes Crown Point. Begley, corner to Rhodes. Rhodes is going to drive into the paint, find a wide open shooter in the left corner. The three by Lux is no good, and the rebound goes to the Homestead Spartans. Jack Lux, 36% three-point shooter, but he only averages 2.5 points per game, but he was left alone, just couldn't convert. Now a pull-up jumper, mid-range, no good by Raudenbush, but an offensive rebound on the weak side by Wyatt Weaver. The putback is good for Weaver, his first 2 points. And with 5:35 left in the second quarter, Homestead's now up by 6. It's their biggest lead they've had in the game. Left wing triple, that's no good, off the iron for Hinderlong. And Homestead in the front court with a 6-point lead. Clock goes under 5:20 left in the second. Weaver dribbles to the foul line, spins down the right side of the lane, and as he does, there's a reach-in foul called on Crown Point. The foul is going to be on Colby Hinderlong. He picks up his first, but that is the 4th now on the Bulldogs. Nope, correction. That's the 1st in the quarter on the Bulldogs. On the inbound, top of the key, they got a wide open look for Welker, and he missed it off to the right. Rebound, Crown Point. Here comes Shaw. He'll drive. He'll go up, and a blocking foul as the bucket counts for Dikembe Shaw. Shaw, a 6'7" junior that scores almost 17 points per game for the Bulldogs. He's drawn Crown Point to within 4. He can make it a one-possession game if he can convert at the free throw line to finish off the three-point play, and he's connected 78% of the time at the charity stripe this season. Shaw wearing number 23. And, of course, anytime you see a 23 from Northwest Indiana, you have to think about Michael Jordan. Free throw's good. It's an 11-8 game. Homestead front court, Kuhlman on the dribble. Now Crown Point goes into man-to-man defense, switching defenses for Clint Swan and the Bulldogs. Weaver hands it off to Kuhlman. Kuhlman, 38 feet from the basket, steps all the way to midcourt, center circle, still on the left-handed dribble. Bounces at high post. Welker with a touch pass to Rogers. Reverse layup, no. Weaver, offensive rebound. And putback is short from in close. And here comes Crown Point on the run. Darrell to the basket, and he missed the layup, but he got a foul call, and he's going to go to the free throw line to shoot two. Crown Point trying to close the gap to one if Mason Darrell can get a couple of free throws. First free throw is good. Nothing but net for the 14-point per game scorer for the Bulldogs. Darrell, a 6'2 junior. 74% at the free throw line this season. 4:23 left before halftime. An 11-9 game and a chance to make it one. Free throws up and short. Rebound. Good box out by the Spartans. They completely cleared, so they were able to tip the rebound and then go collect it. 11-9 game. Here comes the trap. Kuhlman saw it coming, and he called a timeout. They tried to jump Jake Kuhlman right at the timeline, and Kuhlman, before he crossed midcourt, saw what Crown Point was doing, stepped back into the backcourt, and they proceeded to double team him, so he took the quick timeout. So it's a 30-second timeout with 4:12 left in the half. Once again, if you're looking for the Purdue Boilermakers NCAA tournament game against McNeese State, that game right now is on WOWO 92.3 FM, exclusively on 92.3 FM. Also, you've got special coverage of the NCAA tournament from Westwood 1 at 1380thefan.com. All you have to do is click on the special alternate broadcast stream. You'll see the NCAA tournament logo, and if you click on it, you'll be able to listen via your digital device. Spartans have it front court. They're up by 2. Kuhlman at the three-point line. Outside to Good to Rogers. Rogers high left. Between the circles to Kuhlman. Kuhlman dribbles up to the arc. Picks up the bounce. Throws right to Good. Right back to Kuhlman. Back to Good on the right wing. Now he throws up top to Kuhlman. Rogers. Good. High right wing to Kuhlman. Over the top to Rogers. Now through Good to the right wing to Kuhlman as he goes to drive. Ball was tipped away. That's one of those where you have that, hold the ball on the left, swing it over to the right side and try to drive. And as he swung it through, Crown Point got a hand on it, and they ruled that it was off of Kuhlman out of bounds. So Crown Point now a chance to tie or take the lead, down by 2. 3:20 and the clock runs in the second. Begley hands to Darrell. Outside, Peters, good strong drive, and Peters just attacks the basket and finishes at the rim. Bryce Peters, just super athletic at 6'1", makes it a tie ball game, 11-all. Under 3 minutes left first half. High post Welker, down low to Weaver. Weaver, reverse layup, no, but he got bumped from behind. And let's see if they determine that that bump came in the act of shooting. The Crown Point foul is Dikembe Shaw, and that could be important because that is his second with 2:54 still remaining in the first half. Shaw, the leading scorer for the Bulldogs at 16.5 a game, and it was a foul on the floor, so Homestead will inbound it. Tie game, and the ball stripped right out of the hands of Owen Smith, and it goes to Darrell of Crown Point. He'll drive coast to coast to the basket. Layup for Mason Darrell, and he's given the Bulldogs a 13-11 lead. And it is also 8 straight points scored by Crown Point. There's a Crown Point foul as Homestead gets into the front court. And this foul is on Mason Darrell, and he picks up his second foul with 2:33 left. So Crown Point with their top 2 scorers both picking up 2 fouls here in the first half. And both now are sitting on the bench. Bulldogs lead it 13-11. Rogers, high left wing. Picks up the bounce. Now needs to find somebody to throw it to. Cross courts it to Smith in the corner to Weaver. Up top to Coolman. Left wing to Rogers. Rogers cut off baseline. Dribbles back up to the wing. Coolman up top. Back to Rogers. Baseline drive. Cut off at the low block. Skips it outside to Owen Smith. Now down low. It is Mac Welker. Good move. Kind of an up and under with the left hand, and Welker lays it in with 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. It's all knotted up at 13 apiece, and now we do have a moving screen called, and this one is on Crown Point. The official again points Homestead's direction, but this time the foul is a Bulldogs foul. And it's called against Colby Henderlong, a 6'5 senior. And the Spartans with a chance to reclaim the lead. Tied at 13 apiece, a minute 56 to play in the second. Zone defense now for the Crown Point Bulldogs. Coolman outside the arc. Owen Smith. Smith dribbles left, throws back to the center to Coolman. Coolman one step inside the arc and then back outside. Center circle to Smith. High post Weaver. Looks down low. Finds Welker. Welker with the layup. Great high-low game. Perfectly timed and executed. 9 points for Mac Welker and a 2-point Homestead lead, 15-13. Minute 20. Clock ticks. Second quarter. Up top, Rhodes gives to Begley. Peters. Now it's Rhodes. That's a long 3. Got it! Kingston Rhodes from distance, his second triple, and it's 16-15. Crown Point, the 1-point advantage. We go under a minute left in the first half. Coolman, center circle. Rogers, right wing to Weaver. Now it's man-to-man defense for Crown Point as they continue to switch it up. Rogers has it left wing. He's going to take it up toward the timeline. 43 seconds. Continues to burn away here late in the first half. Back to the basket baseline. Welker up top to Weaver. Weaver will give it to Rogers. We go under a half minute left in the first half. Homestead with a 1-point deficit. Burning some clock. Man-to-man defense for Crown Point. Rogers on the dribble near the timeline. Gives it off to Coolman, center circle. Coolman spins, drives, kick in the corner. 3 on the way for Smith, and it's too strong. Welker gets the offensive rebound, but he fouled with a push-off in the back of Bryce Peters, and that will be the first foul of the game called on Mac Welker. Comes with 11 seconds remaining here in the first half, and now with a 1-point lead, Crown Point with the final possession. Aiden Good comes in, defensive purposes on this final 11 seconds. Front court, it's Rhodes. He'll shoot the 3. Top of the key, it's too strong. Rebound goes to Welker. Welker, three-quarter court shot. Oh, it just missed. He banked it and it almost went in. But a low-scoring first half, that's perfectly fine for Homestead. Really, the Spartans had the lead the majority of the time, but at the break, it is Crown Point with a 1-point lead, 16-15 over the Homestead Spartans. A game that Crown Point scored first, then Homestead 7 straight to take some command, and then they were up 11-5 when Crown Point went on an 8-point run. It's been back and forth over the final 3 or 4 minutes of the half. And right now, Crown Point looking to improve to 23-2 on the year and get another matchup against Fishers in the semi-state, where they fell to the Tigers a year ago. has a 1-point lead over the Homestead Spartans. Coming up here at the half, we're going to hear from the commissioner of the IHSAA. It's our Commissioner's Corner. We'll have that for you, and then we'll come back here to Elkhart North Gymnasium for the second half of the semi-state semifinal between the Crown Point Bulldogs and the Homestead Spartans, with Crown Point holding a 16-15 lead. You're listening to the Class 4A semi-state from Elkhart North, presented by Parkview Sports Medicine on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Purdue is leading McNeese State 27-11. Just over 8 minutes left in the first half. And if you'd like to listen to that game, it's available on our sister station, 92.3 FM, WOWO Radio. Here in Elkhart, we start the second half with Crown Point leading it over Homestead 16-15. But the Spartans do start with the basketball, and they'll work at the basket that is below me here in the upper corner of the classic gymnasium here on the north side of Elkhart. Jake Kuhlman on the right wing to Josh Rogers. Back up to Kuhlman. He's got one heel in the center circle. Centers the floor. Calls out Rogers to come up high right wing in the corner to Weaver. Weaver's going to be double teamed. Finds Welker. Welker is chased, and he has a Crown Point Bulldog reach in, and that is Mason Darrell, and that's his third foul, and he commits at 38 seconds into the second half. He'll sit on the bench. He is a 14-point per game scorer for Clint Swan and this Crown Point Bulldog squad. Still a 1-point Crown Point lead. Homestead works in the front court. Kuhlman near the timeline. Off of a Welker screen. Kuhlman still on the dribble. Comes off another Welker screen. Now he's going to drive all the way to the basket. Had the layup partially blocked. Here comes Crown Point. Dikembe Shaw pulls up just left at the top of the key on the wing. Right back to Shaw. He'll shoot a three and hit it. Dikembe Shaw, 38% of the season from behind the three-point line, and he just opened up a 4-point lead for Crown Point. That's the biggest they've had in the ball game with 6:45 left in the third. High post to Weaver. Weaver takes the dribble, right to left, gives to Rogers. He'll spot up a three, and Rogers buries it for Homestead. 48% on the season from long distance for Rogers, and he closes the gap back to 1, 19-18. Crown Point front court. Rhodes, Shaw now up top, where it Begley gives it off to Henderlong. Now on the right wing to Rhodes. Between the circles, Begley. Peters, left wing to Henderlong. He dribbles to the elbow, and as he picks up the bounce, the Spartans reaching in, and that's going to be a foul on Homestead, and they call it on Jake Kuhlman, the 6-foot sophomore, picking up his first. Crown Point inbounds. Here's Peters in the paint. Had it stripped away, but tipped it out to the corner to Henderlong to Shaw. Shaw stops and steps through with the left-handed scoop. He gets it in. Dikembe Shaw with 5 second-half points. He's got double figures with 10 in the game, and it's 21-18 Crown Point. Welker between the circles. Weaver has it right wing. He'll take it right down the lane as he goes to go up. The ball stripped away. It goes to Crown Point. Rhodes to Peters. Peters gets the bucket and the harm. He's going to have a chance at a 3-point play for the Bulldogs and a chance to extend it to a 6-point Crown Point lead. The foul is on Kuhlman. It is his second, both of them here in the half. And with 5:31 left third quarter, Crown Point up 23-18. And Peters, a 65% free throw shooter, flips it with the right hand and missed it. Rebound tipped and gathered by Mac Welker, the 6'5 sophomore for the Spartans. Michael Raudenbush has it in the front court, dribbles around the arc, and then hands to Kuhlman. Kuhlman, sophomore point guard, picks up the bounce, high right. Raudenbush in the corner, got past Shaw, but couldn't do anything with it. Now it's Kuhlman back in the corner. Raudenbush, his three. That's too strong. And the rebound tied up underneath. But the arrow points to Crown Point. Bulldogs get the ball with a 5-point lead. 5 minutes remain. We're in the third quarter. The winner plays Fishers tonight as the Tigers had no problem with South Bend Riley, 82-46 in our day's first game. Shaw, right wing. Homestead, man-to-man. Rhodes, left wing to Begley. Begley unguarded as Weaver backs off. Begley won't take the shot. Gives outside to Shaw. Through Henderlong. Now it's Shaw, left wing. Shaw dribbles to the foul line. Spins. Tries to get up. A shot, and they're going to call a foul on Homestead. They're going to call Michael Raudenbush for a reach-in. Homestead fans think that they kind of bailed out Shaw, who was taking a bad shot, but it is going to be 2 free throws for Dikembe Shaw, a 78% free throw shooter. And he gets to the line a lot, 109 out of 139 coming into the game. And the first free throw is good for the junior for Crown Point. He's got 11 points with 4.5 minutes remaining in the third. It's now a 6-point lead, and you can add one more to it. Shaw makes both free throws. It's 25-18. We had a 1-point game at the half, but it's a 9-3 advantage here in the second half for Crown Point. Halfway through the third quarter, Kuhlman a 3, left wing, and he left it short. Rebound goes to Begley of Crown Point with a 7-point lead. It's Shaw pulling up at the 3-point line. Bullseye for Dikembe Shaw, and we got a 10-point advantage for Crown Point. A 12-3 run here in the third quarter. 28-18. Weaver, high left wing. Dribbles to the center of the floor. Looks for a guard and hands it to Kuhlman. Kuhlman bumped on the perimeter, no call. High right wing to Weaver. Up top to Rogers. He'll give it off to Raudenbush. Just to the left at the top of the key. Raudenbush dribbles to the wing. Now he's going to blow to the baseline. Pull up from 15, and it's in and out. No good. Rebound Begley of Crown Point. Bulldogs up 10. Here's Shaw. 3-point line. He'll take the 3 and miss it. Again, Homestead dropped below the screen and left Shaw with a really good look. Spartans in the front court. They're down 10. Kuhlman to Raudenbush. Raudenbush gives to Rogers, right wing. Bouncing it to Welker. Welker baseline right against Shaw. And a reach-in foul's called on Shaw. And that is number 3 on Dikembe Shaw. He's going to go to the bench, and into the game, Reed Cagey, a 6'2 sophomore, makes his first appearance off the Crown Point bench. Comes with 2:57 remaining in the third quarter. Crown Point's up 28-18. Inbound to Welker, gives to Rogers, corner to Raudenbush. Shot fake drive, and then a backdoor cut by Kuhlman. Oh, good bounce pass and a reverse layup for Kuhlman. 28-20. Spartans cut it to 8. Cagey to Rhodes near the left corner. Up top, Henderlong. Begley sends it right wing to Cagey. Now up top between the circles to Rhodes. Rhodes surveys, drives, throws it up on the run. It's no good with the right hand, and the rebound goes to Homestead's Jake Kuhlman. 2:20, the clock is ticking, third quarter, 8-point game. Raudenbush, top of the key to Weaver. Down low, Welker. Good spin move, and he lays it in with the left hand. Matt Welker has cut it to 6. And that forces a timeout with 2:10 remaining in the third quarter. Crown Point 28, Homestead 22. It's the high school basketball 4A semi-state from Elkhart. Presented by Parkview Sports Medicine on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Once again, the Purdue Boilermakers continue to lead it over McNeese State 30-14. And that game can be heard over on WOWO 92.3 FM. So if you are looking for Purdue basketball, you can find it. We've got the broadcast on our sister station, WOWO 92.3 FM. Here in Elkhart, it is Crown Point with a 28-22 lead over the Homestead Spartans. Crown Point just moments ago had a 10-point advantage. Homestead has scored the last 4 to cut it to 6. Now we're out of the timeout with Crown Point inbounding in the backcourt, and they bounce it into Kingston Rhodes, a 5'9 junior guard. Front court to Henderlong. Homestead with a trap, and they go down low. And Crown Point caught in the scramble, and they're going to call a push on Raudenbush. A foul on Homestead's Michael Raudenbush, 6'3 senior, off the bench for Chris Johnson, picks up his second. Nope, they call it on Welker. Mac Welker picks up his second foul. So Crown Point inbounds, under 2 minutes left, third quarter, 28-22. Rhodes from the left wing will step all the way up top. Give on the perimeter to KG. Peters, left wing to Rhodes. Rhodes throws it to Begley posting. He'll turn, face baseline, 12 feet out, dribble into the paint, then find a man underneath. The layup by Henderlong, no good. Rebound goes to Crown Point. Kick outside to Rhodes. Rhodes in the lane. Up top to Begley, and he'll give it off to Peters. Minute 25, clock runs. We're in the third quarter, a 28-22 Crown Point lead. Bulldogs with the ball. Rhodes has it right wing. Up top through KG. He'll give to Peters, who gives to Begley. Nobody guards him outside the arc. On the year, Begley does hit 39% of his threes, but he looks like he does not want to take a shot here. They lob it down low. They got a man under the basket. It's Henderlong, and he'll lay it in. 30-22, Crown Point. First bucket of the game for Colby Henderlong off the Crown Point bench. Spartans front court. Kuhlman on the dribble. Circles and a reach-in foul. Crown Point's Colby Henderlong guilty of the foul. That is his third. That is now the third Bulldog with 3 fouls. 2 of them, the top 2 scorers for Crown Point. So if Homestead's going to make the run, right now would be a good time to get it going. See how patient they are here as we approach the last half minute of our third quarter. Kuhlman on the dribble, works around the arc. In the corner, Raudenbush. He's going to drive, take it all the way up, and draw contact. Didn't get the shot, but to the line, Michael Raudenbush, a 70% free throw shooter, will shoot 2, and the clock will stop with 22.5 seconds on it. Third quarter, 30-22. It is Crown Point with the advantage, but Homestead looks to cut into that 8-point lead. Raudenbush, right-handed flip, and it nestles in. 30-23, 3 points for Raudenbush. One more coming at the line, and the second one on the way, and that one's too strong. Lined it off the back heel, and the rebound to Crown Point. 7-point game, Crown Point the lead and the ball to end our third quarter. 15 seconds, they're into the front court with Rhodes. We're down to 10 seconds. Rhodes center circle with 8, with 7. They're going to come out and set a screen for Rhodes. Rhodes will launch a 3 and get it with 3 seconds. Homestead gets a shot off. Nope, it was a little late from three-quarter court. And that ends our third quarter. And to the fourth quarter we go. And Crown Point a double-digit advantage. 33-23 over the Homestead Spartans. The fourth quarter is next. This is high school basketball, the Class 4A semi-state, a semifinal here in Elkhart, presented by Parkview Sports Medicine on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Homestead with the ball to start the fourth quarter. They have not had a 3 in the game, and they're going to, or actually 1 by Rogers, but they're going to have to hit some threes probably to overcome this 10-point deficit. 33-23. Here's Raudenbush, and as he goes to drive, there's a bump on the perimeter, and it's Mason Darrell. He just picked up his 4th foul. He had to sit most of the third quarter with 3, comes into the game and 23 seconds into the fourth quarter. He's now got 4, and he's right back on the bench. And Colby Henderlong again comes in for Crown Point. Inbound. Welker took his eye off it, had it go right off his fingers to Shaw. He'll drop it down to Rhodes, but Rhodes, a 5'9 guard down low on the left block, couldn't get a shot up, so he dribbles outside. Crown Point will reset the possession. Here's Shaw. Drives, kicks, corner to Rhodes, can't get the shot as Coleman closed out. Crown Point up 33-23. It matches their biggest lead they've had in the ball game. Tick down to 7:10 left. On the perimeter, Peters. Up top, Henderlong, left wing to Shaw. Top of the key, Begley gives it to Rhodes, now on the wing. Henderlong drives, pulls up for 14, shot an air ball. Rebound off the fingers of Begley, and it goes to Homestead. Spartans quickly front court, Weaver, right wing. Up top to Raudenbush. He'll send on the wing. Rogers, extra pass, corner to Welker. His 3 is no good. Rebound taken near the foul line by Bryce Peters of Crown Point. 6:38 to play. 33-23, a 10-point lead for Crown Point. 22-2 on the season. Peters at the arc. Hounded closely by Rogers, so Peters gives it up to Begley, who has nobody guarding him outside. Now he'll give it up to Shaw, and as Shaw goes to drive on Raudenbush held him up, and they're going to call the foul on Michael Raudenbush. First foul of the fourth quarter called against the Spartans, and the fourth of the game called against Raudenbush. 6:16 remains. The winner on to play Fishers tonight and decide who gets to play for a state championship next Saturday. Kingston Rhodes sends it on the wing to Shaw. Nice feed on the give and go. Or it's a cut to the basket by Peters, and he makes the catch and layup. Beautiful feed from Shaw. Well-timed play, and it's a 12-point lead for Crown Point, their biggest of the game. 35-23, under 6 minutes. Coleman drives, finds Welker in front of the rim, and Welker lays it in. Back to 10, 35-25. Mac Welker, 8 points. Down low, baseline, KG. Up on the wing to Begley. Up top near the center circle to Kingston Rhodes, the point guard. They'll give it timeline to Bryce Peters. Coleman will have to come out and pick up Peters. Peters on the dribble. Oh, good shake and bake. Got past Coleman. Down low, Begley. Extra pass, KG, and his shot is blocked. Here comes Homestead. Transition. They go to Coleman down low. He's doubled, so he sends it back outside to Rogers, and Homestead's going to have to set the offense. Raudenbush to Coleman at the foul line. Coleman up top. The pass deflected, and it is saved by Crown Point, but it goes to Homestead. Raudenbush, the drive, the layup, and he missed it. And the rebound goes to Crown Point. 35-25, under 5 minutes left. Crown Point, 10-point lead with the ball front court. Kingston Rhodes. Pass to the wing. Raudenbush got a hand in and knocked it away, but it goes out of bounds right almost into the lap of Crown Point coach Clint Swan, looking for his 281st victory as the Crown Point coach and his 419th win overall. Got 2 veteran coaches with Swan, 28 years, and Chris Johnson for Homestead, 31 years. Here's a baseline drive. Shaw to the basket, missed the layup, but he got his own miss and dribbles outside to reset. Now Shaw drives, dishes down low, Begley, layup good. Crown Point back up by 12, matches their biggest lead. They've done it twice here in the fourth quarter, but we've only got 4:15 left. Coleman at the foul line, throws on the wing just as Aiden Good cuts to the basket. That's some miscommunication, and that's also a turnover for Homestead. Things starting to get away from the Spartans with 4:11 left. 37-25. It was a 1-point game at the half, 16-15. But Crown Point has taken control here in the second half. Rhodes on the dribble between the circles. Dribbles to the left sideline, finds Shaw, and then Shaw finds a cutter right down the lane. Darrell misses the layup, but the tip out goes to Crown Point. 3:45 clock run. Shaw from the left wing, and as he goes to drive around Owen Smith, there's a little bit of body contact. They call Owen Smith for a blocking foul. First foul of the game called on the Homestead 6'2 senior. Second foul of the quarter on the Spartans. 3:40 clock runs. Crown Point with a 12-point lead. High post. Now a kick out. Dennis, and he'll quickly throw it up top center circle to Rhodes. Left sideline to Peters. Crown Point playing some keep away around the perimeter. Peters, long pass over the top of the defense. Shaw, and he'll immediately give it up top to Rhodes. Left wing, Shaw. It's Darrell down low for Begley. Missed the layup. Rebound once, twice, and it went off Begley out of bounds. Homestead gets the ball with 3:11 left, but the Spartans are down by 12. And an offensive-defensive substitution as KG comes in for Mason Darrell, who has to sit with 4 fouls, 3:11 left. Homestead down 12. The possession arrow, by the way, here in the fourth quarter does favor Crown Point. Jake Kuhlman brings it front court, high right, centers the floor, gives to Welker, a shot fake, a drive. There's a big collision. There's no call, and Welker puts in the 8-footer, and they're going to call a flop on Dikembe Shaw. Well, it looked like there was contact, but apparently the official feels that it was enhanced by Dikembe Shaw, so he calls the flop against Dikembe Shaw with 2:57 remaining. Homestead cuts it to 10 on the Welker bucket. And the teams now are taking a timeout. It's Homestead that's taking the timeout, and it's going to be a full timeout, so we'll go ahead and take a break with 2:57 remaining. 37-27, Crown Point up by 10 on the Homestead Spartans. It's the Class 3A semi-state semifinal from Elkhart, presented by Parkview Sports Medicine on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. 2 minutes and 57 seconds on the clock, and for the Homestead Spartans, they don't want to see it be the last 2 minutes and 57 seconds of their season, but they trail by 10. 37-27 to the Crown Point Bulldogs. Bulldogs last year got to the semi-state and fell in the early session to Fishers. They're hoping to get a rematch against Fishers, but sometimes it's be careful what you wish for, because that is a really good Fishers team. There's a reason they are unbeaten and number 1 in the state. Homestead full court pressure, the pass to mid-court, and reaching in from behind Mac Welker. He got a hand on the ball, but apparently he got too much of Bryce Peters, and Mac Welker picks up his 3rd foul. 2:50 remains. 3rd foul against Homestead here in the fourth quarter. The teams will shoot when the opponent hits 5 fouls. All inbounded backcourt to Kingston Rhodes, 5'9" junior. Right wing, Shaw down low. Begley kicks it in the corner to Darrell, and he misses a 3-pointer. Here comes Homestead. Quickly front court, Rogers to Weaver. Weaver hands it to Kuhlman. Kuhlman picked up closely by Bryce Peters. Now picks up the dribble right wing. Somebody's got to get open, and Welker cuts out to the corner. Gets a 3-point look and shot it too strong. Rebound, Crown Point. Begley, it looked like he traveled once, traveled twice, and they called the second one. Begley got the ball in the open court, and the first time he turned to look into his front court and had the shock of a Homestead defender, and so it looked like he kind of stuttered his feet at that point. And then when he went to dribble, it was a high dribble that he didn't control well. When he went to collect it, he shuffled his feet a second time. Homestead the ball. We're ticking down toward 2 minutes left. A 10-point lead for Crown Point. A drive to the basket. Welker, and on the layup, he gets fouled. He'll shoot 2 free throws. 2:04. The clock is stopped, and this could get it into single digits for the Spartans. Mac Welker, a 6'5 sophomore, averages almost 17 points per game for Sparty. Goes to the line with 16 points. And the free throw is no good. Well, right now, Homestead just cannot leave points off the board. They are down by 10 and only 2:04 remaining. Welker with one more. And he missed them both. Rebound tipped and saved underneath by Good. He threw it off of Begley, and Homestead will get a reset. Good work by Good, the 6'2 senior, not wanting to see his high school basketball career come to an end with 2:02 on the clock. Homestead still trails by 10, 37-27. Now the Spartans to inbound under the basket. They'll give it to Welker right under the rim. Welker dribbles in front of the iron, then goes up and gets fouled. And it's going to be Welker going right back to the line. The foul is called on Jack Lux. He picks up his first, and to the line with 1:59 remaining, Mac Welker, where he just missed a couple of moments ago. Got that one. Nothing but net. And I should correct myself. Welker now with 16 points in the game. Has one more free throw coming, could cut it down to 8. 1:59 left. Second free throw on its way. Got it. Nothing but net on those two for the Homestead sophomore. Now full court press. They're going to try to trap. Kingston Rhodes gets away from it, and the long pass from the right sideline all the way into the front court to the left wing is deflected away. But it was last touched by Homestead before going out of bounds. So Crown Point will inbound. Right where the three-point line meets the baseline. The inbound for Bryce Peters of Crown Point. He'll throw it all the way up top right to Rhodes. Center circle to Shaw, back to Rhodes. Back to Shaw. Homestead chasing, trying to double, and Crown Point playing some keep away. Shaw, he's doubled. High corner of the half court, and as Shaw tries to split the double team on the dribble, they call Homestead for a reach in. And the foul is on Josh Rogers. That is his first. It's the fourth on the team, so still not free throws for Crown Point. They lead by 8 with 1:38. Rhodes midcourt. Right wing to Shaw. Dikembe Shaw. Up top to Rhodes. They tried to foul Rhodes, but no call. Now Shaw back to Rhodes. Rhodes on the dribble, being chased by Aiden Good. Rhodes, look at that nifty ball handling, and finally Aiden Good, who was chasing him all over the half court, catches up to him and fouls him. And it's going to put Kingston Rhodes, a 74% free throw shooter, to the line to shoot two with 1:19 remaining. Third foul on Aiden Good for Homestead, 37-29. And Crown Point a chance to add to their 8-point advantage. Rhodes, Good. 38-29. Double figures for Kingston Rhodes, 9-point per game scorer on the season. He's got 10. .59 junior guard sends the second on its way, and that one will nestle in. So if Rhodes gets both free throws, it's back to a 10-point lead for Crown Point. Just over a minute left. Coolman to Rogers. Rogers behind a screen goes to Coolman in the corner. Up on the wing to Welker. Welker dribbles top of the key and gives it off to Owen Smith. He'll drive. He'll scoop. It's no good. Rebound tipped, and Begley has it for Crown Point. Under a minute left in the front court, Kingston Rhodes. And Homestead will foul, and Jake Coolman will foul Rhodes. He'll go right back to the line where he just made 2 for 2 a moment ago. 54.1 seconds left. Homestead a week ago, won their third regional title. But it looks like the road is ending here at the semi-state. Road's good on the first, an 11-point advantage for Crown Point with 54.1 seconds left. Second free throw is good. 13 points in the game for Kingston Rhodes. Now Homestead down by 12, 41-29. Rogers will drive all the way to the basket, and the layup too strong. It was contested by Shaw, and I think it altered the shot. Crown Point the rebound. Henderlong will call a timeout in the backcourt. He just was not comfortable with where he had the ball toward the sideline, and so Colby Henderlong takes a timeout for Crown Point with 35.4 seconds left. 41-29. It's the Bulldogs with a 12-point advantage. We'll take a timeout as well. It is the high school basketball game of the week presented by Parkview Sports Medicine on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Crown Point inbounds, and Shaw had it stripped away. Aiden Good collected it, and then he gets smacked as Shaw tries to get the ball back from Good. And so a foul on Dikembe Shaw. It is his fourth, but it is only the fourth foul on Crown Point. Now we're seeing substitutions as Chris Johnson realizes the inevitable with his team down by 12 with 27.7 seconds. Takes out Aiden Good and Josh Rogers. Here's Welker. A three on the way. No, it's too strong, and the rebound underneath to Crown Point. And the Bulldogs will dribble into the front court, and Homestead's not going to foul. 10 seconds left, and Crown Point is going to be able to just burn the rest of this clock, and it is a final here in Elkhart. The Crown Point Bulldogs have ended the Homestead Spartans season and will advance to a semi-state championship game tonight against the Fishers Tigers. Our final score, Crown Point 41, Homestead 29. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back real quick on the other side, and we'll wrap this one up here from Elkhart. The Class 4A semi-state semifinal being presented by Parkview Sports Medicine on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. We are back a final time for the 24-25 season here in Elkhart at Elkhart North Gymnasium. The Class 4A semi-state semifinal goes to the Crown Point Bulldogs, 41-29 over the Homestead Spartans. So Crown Point has improved to 23-2 on the year, and they will look for their first semi-state championship tonight. But standing in their way, the state's number one ranked Fishers Tigers, who had a dominant win earlier today against South Bend Riley, 82-46. And I'll just tell you, it is going to be tough for anybody to knock off Fishers. That is a complete ball club, great guard play. They've got outside shooting. They've got a couple of athletes who can really take it to the basket, finish at the rim. They've got a 6'7" post inside. There's no missing pieces, and then they execute and play well on top of it. We saw a great defensive effort against South Bend Riley, but we also saw some great passing and some crisp ball movement as they share the ball so well, and that's one reason why they have so much balanced scoring. But that will be the championship here at Elkhart tonight. It will be Crown Point versus Fishers, which does tell us one thing. The way to advance in the semifinal here today from Elkhart was to wear a white uniform with red letters and numbers, because both teams with the same color scheme and both uniforms very, very similar to one another, as Fishers wins game one and Crown Point a victor here in game two. The NCAA tournament is going on, and we're going to rejoin Westwood One's coverage of the NCAA tournament here on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Meanwhile, if you're looking for the Purdue broadcast with Rob Blackman and the Purdue Radio Network, that is available on WOWO 92.3 FM. That's 92.3 FM for the Purdue Boilermakers and McNeese. And at halftime, Purdue all over the Cowboys 38-20. Well, it's been a great season, and we have so many people to thank, but we have to start with Parkview Sports Medicine, our presenting sponsor for this high school basketball season. Without their support, none of this would be possible. We would not be able to make these trips. We would not be able to bring you all of the best games from Fort Wayne throughout the season, from December through January, through February, and even into March. We have followed the trail of our high school basketball teams, and a big thanks goes to Parkview Sports Medicine. Also, got to say a big thanks to Pizza Hut of Fort Wayne. They've been with us since the beginning, a great supporter of our high school sports coverage, football and basketball all year long. You hear our post-game shows on Friday night, always originating from your local Fort Wayne Pizza Hut restaurants. And a big thanks to everybody at Pizza Hut for their support of our high school broadcast. Also thanks to all the management at Federated Media with their continued confidence and support in providing high school basketball coverage here in the Fort Wayne area. Want to also mention that this is only made possible because of the financial commitment and support that we get from our sponsors who step up and show that they believe in the young players in our community, and they believe that there's a value in bringing high school sports to the radio dial. And if you would like to be one of the businesses that can show your support for our coverage, please let us know. You can text us at 260-447-8500. And you can also get a hold of us online or at 1380thefan.com, or by calling our business office during normal business hours at 260-447-5511. But we certainly would love to have your support for our upcoming season. Something exciting coming up this spring. For the first time, we are going to have high school baseball. A Saturday game of the week will come your way starting on April 12th. We hope you tune in for that. That wraps it up here from Elkhart, where Crown Point is a winner over the Homestead Spartans. And Crown Point advances to take on Fishers in a Class 4A semi-state championship coming up tonight. For the Spartans, their season ends 22-6. But what a season for Chris Johnson and the Spartans as they end up winning 16 of their last 18 games and really had a great run at not only the SAC title, but they win the sectional, they win a regional, and then they fall short here at the semi-state. So for Adam Lundy, our studio producer, I am Brett Rump. We thank you for listening. This has been the Class 4A semi-state semifinal from Elkhart, Indiana, presented by Parkview Sports Medicine on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.